Camille Roberts, and Jamaican by birth. I migrated here 6 years ago, and have just sought opportunities of working with my community in whatever aspect I'm capable and able to assist with. I really have a soft spot for the migrant workers and that community, and so I have joined forces with these wonderful people who volunteer at what we call the hub. We just soften the space and call it the hub. It is actually, I'm gonna get the formal name for you for this. Okay, so this is a department run by Susan Roach, and she should have been doing this presentation today, but she's not here, so I'm taking on the hot seat. And it's a resource center where she offers mental health support to the community at large. And so one day we were in a health equity community committee group, and we were discussing ways in which we could be more supportive to the migrant farm workers. And Suzanne posed the question, what could I do? What can I do? Where would my organization fit in the whole scope of things? And it was suggested to her that, by myself, that I know that when migrant farm workers come to Canada, they come with a lot of mental stressors. Because for one, leaving your families for 8 months. Sometimes you're leaving, your baby was just born, and you haven't even had that chance to bond. Or you might have a parent who is not feeling well, and you have to leave that parent for 8 months. You're not even seeing a picture of them because they might not have the technology to connect with you, to see how the baby is growing, to really see if mom has recovered, even though she says she's okay. She might not really be okay, but she knows you're away working and you're doing your best to send money back home to support the family. So mom is gonna say, I'm okay. But if you see a picture for yourself, you can properly evaluate and look and say, okay, well, I can see health beaming through her face. There she is in the garden again working, she's fine. So that kind of help to give some kind of ease. So here Suzanne has opened up her space, and we welcome in migrant farm workers to that space every Friday night. In this we try to, where are we? Okay, so yes, we're still on the, yes. So here we try to do a barbecue night, a games night. We try to find different topics. Music is of course very vital. We all know about Bob Marley and the revolution of reggae music. Very, very vital. It's a cultural piece that we cannot leave out. To know if somebody is a Jamaican, not necessarily the color of their skin, because we do have different groups of people living in Jamaica. Our motto says, out of many, one people. So out of many different races, out of many different cultures, we have evolved as one people called Jamaicans. So if you come to Jamaica, you will see a Caucasian person living there who was born there, raised there. You will see a Chinese person. You will see Indian, East Indians, all kinds of different nationalities and ethnicities are all embedded within our culture. But the thing that you will use to know a Jamaican is the music. Oh, we cannot do without it. No matter what we're going through, if mom is sick, dad is sick, the kids are sick, and we want to feel some mental reprieve, we're going to put some music on. We're going to be singing some songs. And that goes way back. That evolved out of slavery, and when all the mental pressures were built up, and you have to work and you have to do this within such the time constraint and everything that goes with it. The only thing that kept our people going was the songs. It was always a song. One person starts humming, and everybody catches on, and we start singing. And before long, the day has gone, and you're like, oh my goodness, we did all of this. Even at home, I'm cleaning, And I start singing, I put that music on, and when I turn around, okay, everything's done. Oh my goodness, where did the day go? So that's very important for us, the music. And I noticed even as I worked on farms that there were a lot of one particular farm owner that I have, he always had music going. And it has to be Jamaican music. If anybody ever goes there and take that CD out, you're in big trouble. Like, you can be called to the office for that, because these guys need their music to keep them going. You know, so sometimes the other workers will complain and say, "Why is there not a balance?" But you know, there's an exception here. Gotta get this reggae thing under control. Get it going. So yes, any project you're working on, and if you're working with migrant workers, get their music. They really use that as a big tool to keep them going. Also at the hub, we try to bring in different resource people in on different nights. So for one, we are working to get a group from Gulf. They're in medicine, herbal medicine, so alternative medicine. And we'll ask them to come in and to just make a presentation. So if a guy is outside and he got injured, and you know, it's a minor injury, nobody wants to leave work and lose production time to go get a Band-Aid, or, well, they have to get a Band-Aid, but at least to get something on there to stop the bleeding, or just to clean it up and to take care of it until they get home. At least they can identify a plant in the field out there that is good to keep the blood pressure under control, and just to keep it clean, and to do basic sanitizing with that until they get further help. So stuff like that we try to incorporate into our hub space. Actually there we have free Wi-Fi, which is a big thing for the workers, both Mexicans and Jamaican. And the only difference, I love what you have shared earlier on about your program and everything that you have done. I am writing everything down, and I will be calling you up, because we will be taking some of your wonderful ideas and injecting them into what we have to make it bigger and better and make it more helpful for the workers. We would actually, I lost my thought just by going back to what you did. I forgot what
Our different groups. We had a relaxation group come in the one night.
Relaxation group.
Oh,
Thank you,
Wi-Fi.
Stephanie. Oh, Wi-Fi. So yes, we do have the Wi-Fi where they can see their family members. They can talk and hear a voice, the voice recording. So that is really very good for them. They all go on different social media, and they are very computer savvy and techie. They know all these things. They're very in touch with what is happening, and that's a big piece for them. It's free and they're comfortable. There's a couch there where they can sit and relax. We do some cooking sometimes. Right, we have Mexicans and Jamaicans. We have Felix and his wife Kaylee, and they represent the Mexican aspect of it, because you know, I cannot speak much of Spanish. It's our second language in Jamaica. We study it in school, but we never have the practical application of it, so it goes. So that's a wonderful piece. Jamaicans are trying to learn something in Spanish, hola amiga, and anywhere they see each other, hola, and you know, the Mexicans will say, tell me, how do I say this or that, how do I say vegan man, some Jamaican patois, you know, so we have a very good rapport with having the Mexicans and the Jamaicans there. We try our best to keep, well, we don't even have to put any effort into it. It happens seamlessly, how they work with each other and how they enjoy each other's culture. We talk about the foods. When I make my Jamaican soup, the guys want to know, oh, what was this thing that you put in there? We have that back home and we call it so-and-so, or we use it for so-and-so. So there's a lot of cultural exchange going on there, which is also help with the stress. Because we're sharing, we're talking, we're laughing, we're listening to Latino music, and they're listening to reggae music. There, Suzanne has her steel drums. We pull that out occasionally. What else do we have?
We had massage clinic come to set up a massage, a neck and shoulder massage chairs in the parking lot. That That was a big hit.
We had-
Especially it was near the end. It was in the end of July, wasn't it, or early August? So it was when the workers were suffering from like a lot of the.
Yes, they had just come in and started working, and they haven't. Their bodies didn't break into the work yet, so they had a lot of muscle tension and all of that. So that really helped getting the chair massage and all of that. We had Eduardo coming in, the old cow, Michelle and the team. They would bring safety glasses for the guys, which they very much appreciate. Anything that's gonna keep them safe and healthy, oh, they welcome that so much. So they had their safety glasses, they had lubricants for their eyes. What else did we have? Lots of games.
Yeah, gloves. We had games.
Yeah. We had a big barbecue. The students from Western Ontario came at one point that we met with. The students from Laurier University had put on a big barbecue for the workers, and that's one of the things that, yeah, better go on the slides. So we had that where they came in and they fed the workers, and we had over 500, was that?
Yeah, we got rid of all of our food.
So they had over 500 guys stopping in, and they're asking, why all this kindness? What's going on? What's the catch? Nobody has ever done this for us. Like, what? Why? And we said, you know what? We want to show you that we appreciate what you do. Go into the grocery stores, you will see all your handiwork in there. All those beautiful fruits and vegetables. You know, that's all that you have done for us, and we are very grateful, and this barbecue is an appreciation of that. So they are very, very grateful when we do something for them. And I mean, one thing that we're trying very hard to and working on is trying to get something formal that can welcome workers back into Canada each year when they come. When they come, maybe even at the airport, I don't know, that's my grand idea. When they come, they'll see something that says, welcome seasonal agricultural workers to Canada. That's the Canadians I know, at least. Mm-hmm. You know, we show appreciation, we show people that they're valued and they have some form of a self-worth. And when we do that, we're actually building ourselves and helping them as well to understand that we do appreciate who you are, what you do. It doesn't mean that you're doing a job that other Canadians may not want, and we're gonna kind of look down on you and say you're doing a menial job. We don't want that kind of idea to go out, because each of us are marketing Canada. We're sharing to somebody who knows nothing about our culture, who knows nothing about us. So we have to do it in a way that each person can relate to who a Canadian really is. And back to the aspect of farm owners. Sometimes I know that farm owners do feel picked on, and I'm not here to pick on anyone. Whatever I do, whatever work I try to do is to find equity, to find balance. I'm not trying to highlight the bad things. They are out there, and we need to unearth them, and we need to fix them. But based on the other presentations I've heard, it's so nice to know that we can work together, like for the faith-based group here and for your group as well, that there's an in that you can make with the farm owners and encourage them to show them that we're not here to pick on you. We're not trying to, you know, highlight all the bad things, because there are good farm owners. We just want to work with you, and that is something that this year we will be working very hard on to make sure that we make a connection with the farm owners and support them, because they too need support. If the housing needs to be fixed, yes, there's apprentice money out there for young people who want to learn a skill or a trade. Why not get some of that funding and get some of the kids who are going into an area like that to go and do some carpentry, to go do a little bit of construction, whatever needs to be done. And let's work together and fix this and make this a beautiful program for all. What we have been doing so far to connect them, to get them to different areas, we do it on a Friday night when we know that they have to come to town. Because sometimes it's not that they don't want to come, it's because they are working and, you know, they're not able to leave the farm. So we don't want to go through a big gala for them knowing that they are working. Mm-hmm. So we do it on a Friday night, and we try to pick a time when we know that they will get their groceries and then they're a little bit relaxed and can come and enjoy what we have to offer. So Stephanie here has been doing a lot of groundwork. She has taken on so many different roles. She will literally drive around to these farms, drive to the shopping areas where they're shopping, hand out flyers, and invite them, give them a warm, welcoming invite. That's the thing that works best, because even if you tell them, oh, there's something over there in the hall for you, they will, knowing a Jamaican, they will not go like that. No, they're not gonna just walk over there. They want to know who's preparing that food. You know, they want to know why. You know, so you have to have somebody who's so connected with them. So that's a big piece. Kaylee is very connected, and her husband, with the Spanish community, so she knows the language. They just connect like that by talking, and they trust her. They feel like, you know, this is something that all my friends are doing, so it seems to be okay. Right. This is the second week they have gone to this place, and they come back all right, and they don't get in any trouble. So, you know, I remember Jamaicans never used to go there. It used to be the same divide, to be honest. Last year, when I first started, I would sit there and I would see them, the Jamaicans would come to just the side of the road, and there's a walkway, and they'll stand on the other side of the walkway, and then there's a house over there, and they would just look over there. And they would not cross. And I go over there and I say, okay, it's all right to step over. Just follow me, step over. But you're welcome. Nobody's going to charge you. Here I am as a Jamaican, and I'm inviting you over. This is something we're doing for you, and it's okay. When you come over, we'll explain more about what we're doing, and we're just trying to make you feel comfortable. At home, we know that you are going through a lot of pressure from work, you're missing your family and all that, and we're just providing the space for you. So just talking with them and just helping them to feel comfortable. That.
Can I say something? Sure. Do you know the Agricultural Workers Alliance in Linden? Because I ran the one in Simcoe. Have you talked to them, or have you been to the office there?
Oh yeah, with the Mexicans, I just walk in and say hola, and they come on, we're having a barbecue for you guys. No problem, they come, they dance, no problem. It's Jamaican. And myself, knowing a lot about Jamaica, my in-laws are Jamaican, I frequent Jamaica twice a year. I talk to them about their own land. Still, they don't want to come out.
We, like in our, my experience with the migrant workers, because we have a mix of Jamaicans and Mexicans. So last year we didn't do a barbecue, but we've done many barbecues once a year, and that's the way they come together. If there is food, they are there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and I'll be there too. So anyhow, the way to do it is, the way to bring them together is a barbecue. I know, like in my office, we have Wi-Fi, and we get a mix of probably 60%, 50% Jamaicans, Caribbean workers, or Mexican workers. But the way to do it is probably to join forces with the Agricultural Workers Alliance through a barbecue, and then kind of Wi-Fi is a major thing nowadays with migrant workers. And Stephanie knows in my office every Saturday they are there, so that's one way you guys can connect with, agricultural. Because if we all groups join forces, we do more. So that's my suggestion.
We try all of those tactics, but I appreciate it, and yeah, I'll continue.
Oh, okay.
Using Wi-Fi.
Okay, so one question. What do you prepare when you have these dinners? What do you have for them?
The last one that we did in the Christmas break,
Yes.
right before the Christmas break, was only Caribbean food. We didn't even have Mexican food, and
Yeah.
they still came and ate the Caribbean
Okay.
food. Yeah.
You let us know. We'll come on and Okay.
It's just, we don't have their personal information. Like when I see them, like there's a club in Leamington called Caribbean Pulse.
Okay.
So that they attend, and we'll tell them like, oh, we're having a barbecue in like 2 weeks, or it'll be like if I just happen to know one, and I text him and say text 5, and then you text 5, and then you text. And still, it's just like, okay, we'll come, but then guys, where are you guys? Oh, we're just sitting at home. Then that's when I have to
Yeah,
give
just
my-
try to keep it, just try to keep it close as possible to where they shop, to where they have their
Oh, it is
social.
Center Leamington, where
Yeah,
everything
so is
like-
it beside that club that you're talking about?
No, oh, yeah, and sometimes even at the club, sometimes, because the club is really big and he barbecues outside in the summer. So the barbecue will be outside and they can go inside if they want. There's liquor there if necessary. It is a club, right?
Yeah.
And they frequent there Thursday, Friday, Saturday too.
Yeah, they're very picky.
But when it comes to like a daytime event,
Yeah.
and there's no girls, no.
In terms of relationships, Jamaicans are very picky.
Yeah, very picky.
Right? Steph, kudos to you to having one that respect among them, that they will listen to you, because that's what we look for first, is for the personal connection. And if you personally connected with the person, you follow them to hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
Very true.
As I say to you, seriously.
Yeah.
And figuring out when is the time that they have available, right? They work long hours. They're not available at certain time because that's their rest time, their downtime. They need rest too between. But if they connect with you, certainly when you say to come, they will figure out a way to
Yes,
come.
that's true.
Maybe if you talk about you driving around and picking up and making how many trips, maybe another way to do it would be to get some volunteers who have been introduced to them over time, so that they will get into the van and 7 of them come in at a time.
Right.
Could be also another approach to it. But making the connection is huge.
Huge.
So Camille, you guys talk about Friday nights, and you do it on Friday nights. Do most of the farms in your area have Friday night off? Is that how that works?
Yes, yes.
Friday
That's the night when they pick up their groceries.
Okay.
Yes.
Some have them Thursday. Something.
Yeah,
So it varies from farm to farm, but majority.
And I would just like to say one thing about this space is that it is a small group of workers that comes there at any given time, and they don't stay the entire duration that it's open. They often come, they'll sit for a bit after they've got their groceries. But I think the small size is what allows the Mexican and the Jamaican workers to come together. And it gives them sort of this nice private space where they can ask one another cultural questions. And we have translators there, and we've found in our experience the Jamaicans are very curious about Mexican culture and the Mexicans are very curious about Jamaican culture. But when you put them into big environments, they fall into these divisive mentalities that are often perpetuated by the farm owners or by the supervisors on the field. So part of the safe space is a safe space to overcome those stereotype boundaries between workers and perhaps allow a form of solidarity to kind of naturally grow in those environments.
Yeah, we've done many barbecues and street barbecues, and they join together in Simcoe. I don't really know.
So we have time for one more
Yeah,
question.
we have two more. So just
Two more?
I just
Okay.
wanted to add, I was thinking resources during this presentation, and one of the areas that's worked really well for me is Heater High Schools. I was approached to do a social justice class. I partnered with somebody with OCAL. We went in. Mine was about the community. The OCAL was about the conditions. But this is a generation of entitled, spoiled children, and they need the education, and they need to understand their own biases. So we hit the students. Students need volunteer hours. You have students that have Spanish as a second language. They are more than willing to get involved. And what I did was in one of the housing areas, one of the farms, the beds were awful, awful, awful. I went to the shop teacher at the high school and I asked him if I could convince the owner to pay for the materials only, would they take on making beds as a project, and they did. And the price was so good for the farm owner. It was a win-win because they weren't paying for labor. They didn't have to get the materials in, so the high school built the beds as their carpentry project, and they are awesome beds. So it's just kind of think outside the box. And I went to the fire departments and asked the fire chiefs. They turn over their mattresses on a regular basis. They don't keep them for long. So I approached the fire chiefs to ask for the beds, and we took those to the farms that needed new mattresses.
Wow.
So just some thoughts.
I'm sorry. Those are great.
Okay, so, and one more.
This one, you might not be able to answer this question, but I'm from Norfolk County, and aside from the soft workers, there is a huge population of other migrant workers that come in, so the local,
Low skill.
I'm thinking the Mexican Mennonites.
Okay.
Right, so there's, I mean, I've heard numbers of thousands, because they come with their families as well, right? So you've got parents as well as many kids. Are you aware of any support programs there outside of sort of the immediate Mennonite community for them? Because they're almost in worse conditions because they don't have the benefit of a federal program. They come in as individual migrants, and they're also living in housing provided by the farmers, but there's no benefit of even an inspection of that housing. So they are, their job, their immigrant status, as well as their housing and the welfare of their children, is all dependent on that one farmer, with no recourse outside of their immediate Mennonite support network. So I'm just not sure if there's anything that you're aware of that kind of tries to work with.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for bringing that to light. I really have never met a Mexican Mennonite that does not have status in Canada. I have worked with many Mennonites and have some that are friends, but they have all come over as permanent residents and have made the transition into citizens. So they do have all those benefits, and the only one thing I know is that they do work under harsh conditions as well. And we have tried in the past to, myself, not a formal group, to just break into them to see what do they have that they need help with. But they are
They're very self-contained.
Yes, a very self-contained group, and they really like to just keep it in their community. They like to, they like to keep
They're
their
very,
community.
very hard to reach, but I think there's a transition period for those that are coming and trying to get the permanent status. There's those that are in that vulnerable state where they're not yet permanent and they're dependent on employment. So I think those are the most vulnerable. But yes, they're very hard to reach, and so it's asking.
That's call the local fire department and just speak to the inspectors. You don't have to tell them who you are, you just give them an address and ask if it's on. They don't, there is such a lack of records for the housing for the migrant workers, and so you just need to put that address in somebody's ear, and a health inspector will go out to inspect the.
We are the health inspector.
Oh, there you go.
We get no information on them whatsoever. So it's, we do the farms inspections, but for the other ones, there are no inspections. There is no inspection.
Not even required?
No, we have one fire inspector in the entire county. They don't get into this. It's completely.
Our focus really is strapped for resources in general.
So Sandy, that might be a question we have the question and answer board. If you put your question up, you may find, as people are walking around, that they can put the answer for you if somebody has an answer for that board.
Always looking for ways to try to reach the.
Well, thank you everybody for attending, and thank you very much.